Alright, hello and welcome to League of Vloggers. This is week 1 of the Summer LCS.
Yeah, it is.
We
I
are
wrote Spring Split in the title.
Oh yeah, very, very good. You are very
I'm awesome. You can change that.
What episode is this? Episode plus
16, 17?
X plus 1.
Yeah.
X equals X
All
plus
right,
1. Nailed it. Boom.
Change this as a Summer Split for me if you
I
want.
have to log out of my account and into the other account.
Don't worry about it then. That's fine.
No,
It's
it's
already
too
half
late.
logged out, yeah.
It's too late now. You've ruined it.
But yeah, so we're here for Summer Split. You're right. As always, Viking Redbeard.
Oh, that's me.
Yeah. Kurtis James.
That's
and
you.
Stormy.
And that's
Hello.
her.
Yeah.
Woo! We're all here. So, I don't know about you guys, but I'm very glad to be watching the LCS teams again.
I am too.
Like, MSI was fun, don't get me wrong, but like seeing these teams that I've watched week after week, the storylines are just so much more personal,
They really
and even the shit show matches like mean something to me. Because there's probably one of those teams that I kind of like and wish was better, and there's a team that's like fun to watch, just wallow in the mud, you know? So yeah, every game this week, I had so much more fun watching it than most of MSI.
I agree.
Yeah, well, MSI was so many matches, and there was a lot to digest, and even if you were only kind of picking and choosing which matches you wanted to watch, it was still a buttload of matches, so...
And they would play like for 4 days at a time rather than just like 2 days, and then you're off for 5, and then 2 again.
Yeah, so nope, I like the more normal condensed schedule, watch 10 matches over 2 days, or 3 days, I guess, rather than 40 matches over the course of 10 days.
5 days. It was like...
Oh yeah, well,
Ridiculous,
it
right?
was
Right?
a lot of days. Well, and it was even weirder because they had like the 2 days of mourning in Vietnam, so they had to like change the schedule, and yeah.
Wow.
It was nuts.
Nope, I much would prefer our normal LCS schedule. Like, I mean, it's going to happen again for Worlds, and so we're only 9, well, probably like close to like 10 to 12 short weeks away before
Yeah.
Worlds happens, but...
Oof.
Yeah, well, it'll be a bit longer because you have the 9 weeks of LCS, and then you have 3 weeks of playoffs,
Oh, that's right.
and then you have a week of Gauntlet.
And there's
and then
Rift
there's-
Rivals in there.
Oh
which
right,
is a
yeah,
week
and
or two.
another one, and then we're closer to like 20 weeks out when it's all said and done.
Damn, man.
Because there's going to be
Okay.
a couple of weeks off in between too. We're also the first league to start, so remember that. Like LEC doesn't even start until this coming weekend.
Which is interesting because at least last split, they were a
They
week
started a week
ahead of
before,
us.
and I think
yeah.
that's why. Is like they went one.
Well,
and
I
then
wish
the
they
other.
wouldn't have done that because that really bones my plans for LA this year.
Yeah, you fuckstick.
My 2 vacations were planned.
Yeah, we'll have
months
to
and
do
months
like week
ago.
8, I guess.
Nope.
No, I thought you were just gone week 9.
I mean, I'm gone from like one
How long are you
Friday
gone?
to the following Sunday.
Oh fuck!
Yeah.
You really fucked it.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Are you going again?
Europe.
I mean, we could do like quarterfinals.
I was thinking that we could do some of the playoff stuff or something.
Maybe
but-
we'll have to figure that out.
Yeah, sadness ensued when I saw that schedule. I was like, really?
We gotta look how schedules mesh up because I know we have Tacticon coming up closely after that too.
What's that?
It's a convention here that we did GenghisCon a while ago. We hosted a Smash Bros tournament, and the same people who run GenghisCon run Tacticon, and so they want us to
Tacticon.
come back and do a Smash Bros tournament there as well.
What type of con? Is it just
I believe it's another tabletop convention,
Tabletop.
like tactical games.
Ah,
Yeah.
cool.
I'm more
Alright.
nerdy these days. I can actually like talk shop with some of those people. I play D&D now, guys. Oh, you guys are playing crazy board games? Never mind.
Yeah.
I'm still a loser here.
All right. Well, there is LEC starting up next week for people who do watch that. However, that's not what we talk about here. We talk about the LCS. So let's get into it. And I think first things first.
Oh, we took it out already.
Right away, we had TSM and Team Liquid play. It wasn't the first game of the split, but it was the most hotly anticipated Week 1 game. And there were people who thought, just obviously TL's the better team. They were at the end of the split, even though it went 5 games reverse sweep, but they did so well at MSI. And then there's people who thought that there would be a bit of a lag being worn out from playing so much and not getting a break, and an adjustment coming to the new patch. But we went into TL, TSM, and TL looked the better team by a decent margin, actually. So thoughts on that right out the gate?
Well, I didn't even notice that Double Lift apparently taunted before he hit his triple. I had to rewatch it on Sunday.
He just stood there for
I
a
thought
moment.
he got like stunned or something because there were so many minions and it was like right in the brush that it didn't look like the character was doing an animation.
Yeah.
So I didn't catch it.
He hit S and just stood
That's the thing
still
that
for a moment
happened.
before doing the last auto.
Oh no.
He's just like, try to run. Ha!
So yeah, they definitely looked pretty good in that match. I know that we're not there yet, but it was a stark difference between day 2.
Yes. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
TL, like, coming in looking good, and I don't think TSM looked bad in that match. It's just TL looked better.
I think TSM did not look good in their first game, like, versus TL. Like, yeah, I mean, like, they gave up a fucking triple bot.
Yeah.
To be fair, though, I mean, TL is no, like, joke. I mean, they did a lot better at MSI than anyone would have expected. Like, they were the reigning champs last split. Like, it's not unheard of for them to make you look silly.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Like,
I
I
see
mean,
what you're
TSM
saying.
isn't even, like, immune to that.
No.
Yeah, and I mean, the big thing I saw from TL in that game 1 is that they came out and they played an earlier team comp. They played for the early game. They played with some aggression. We saw Xmithy playing aggressively, and that was great to see. The problem there, honestly, I think TSM didn't look bad, but they drafted bad. Like, they drafted for a later game like they hadn't watched MSI at all. It was really weird to be like, oh, so you guys think this is going to go 40 minutes? Okay. And, like, TL's like, yeah, we're shooting for 25 to 30. Like, and they did. Like, I think it was, what, 30-something?
29.
Oh, it was, oh, God. It was even faster. I was thinking it was, like, 32-minute. But, yeah, sub 30-minute game. And, like, that's what happens when one team drafts for early game, executes on it, the other team drafts for late, and isn't able to hold them off. You just get rolled over.
Yeah.
So, good look at TL on day 1. I want to talk about a team that looked good both days. And I know Chase excited. I'm a little surprised you're not wearing the hat. Golden Guardians off to an undefeated 2-0 start. Come on.
I totally spaced on my hat. Like, I was, like, rushed. I was late here today. Like, traffic kicked my butt, then the gym, and then like, more traffic, and, you know.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean,
I
like,
really needed that
but
benefit.
for real, Golden Guardians, they even started last split 0-4.
That's true.
2-0.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't have 2 wins last split until after week 3, and they're there now.
Well, I mean,
And they weren't bad wins either.
No, they
No.
looked good.
well, that
especially
was
What, they
like
took
one
down
of
Echo
my-
Fox and FlyQuest, I believe?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, that was one of my, when we were talking about, like, where do you see them next split? What do they have to do to continue this? And I said, do the same thing that you're doing now, just improve on it a little better.
Yeah.
And they did. I mean, I'm going to knock on wood now, and hopefully it doesn't all go to shit from here on out, but, like, they're looking like a really solid team.
Yeah. And honestly, I think Froggen has stepped it up from this week anyway, even another step. His Aurelia in game 1 was wonderful to watch. Like,
That's very different from.
like the stigma
It's
of
nice.
Froggen is he plays late game scaling champs. It's gonna be Karthus and Nivea, whatever. And he played Aurelia. He's like, no, I've got early mid. Let's go. And like he did. He got big fast and showed Echo Fox.
I think he
what's
had an advantage too because Yusui's new. Like, he had an easier mid,
Yus-
in my opinion.
Oh, Yusui, yeah, because that was his
That was
first. That's
Fox.
right, because they're playing Fox with Yusui and Lost, which I looked a little further into that, by the way. So the reason we're not seeing Phoenix, so they want to try Yusui or they want to try Lost, whatever, but they're both like imports. Or no, I'm sorry, Phoenix is an import, Yusui's not. So if they want to play Lost, they have to play Yusui or sub somebody else. Like they can't play Rush, Phoenix, and Lost all at the same time because it's 3 imports.
I
Now,
was
after
wondering
this
about that.
split, Phoenix won't be an import, I believe.
Wouldn't he have not been an import if, like,
They
Echo
had not
Fox
done that
didn't
bullshit?
fuck him last year?
Possibly, or it might have been like mid-split or something, but yeah. It would have been sooner.
Yeah, ugh, stupid Echo Fox.
Yeah.
I'm glad that I, like, jumped off of that fucking burning trash barrel of shit.
Well, I mean, we can't count them out yet. They did well. Day 2.
Yeah. But so, I mean, but
They-
looking at Golden Guardians, which is what I want to focus on, like, Froggen looked really good. Haunter looked fine in the top. Definitely still super reliable. Like, that team looks good. Contracts.
Yeah.
That's what got me more than anything. Because Contracts, he's been an issue for that team because he is so aggressive and it doesn't seem calculated most of the time. Like, he's just doing shit and he gets caught the fuck out a lot. And I feel like he had a lot more tempered, intelligent aggression this week. Like, and it could have just been the teams he was playing against. But, like, Rush isn't a pushover, generally. Like, he's pretty good.
But he did make mistakes this game.
Right. But I feel like Contracts didn't.
Yes, correct.
Which, usually, like, you see, like, if he made little mistakes, he was still able to get away. Usually, by the time you see him make a mistake, it's like, oh, you're fucked. And he was in a great position to get out when he did make mistakes, and the rest of the time he was in good positions to make plays. Like,
he got a lot of objectives.
I was really happy to see Contracts play as well as he did, and I think that's very important to this team continuing to succeed if they want to challenge for one of those top 3 spots.
Yeah, I mean, they've got good. I mean, they've got, like, mid to, like, decent tier talent, like, in all of their lanes. It's just they were playing so disconnected for parts of last split. Like, it seems like their cohesion's coming together a little bit more. Like, they're becoming a better team. Because, I mean, there weren't any changes on the roster on this team, so they're playing with the same team that they played last split. And, like, some other teams have made some changes here and there, for better or worse, but I think Golden Guardians, like, have really hit their groove. I'm really excited to see how they play this split.
Yeah, I mean, I think Golden Guardians is one of, if not the team to watch, because they were so close last split even. Like, they made such a climb. They went from 10th to all of a sudden, what was it? They ended up 5th, 4th? 5th, because they were behind FlyQuest. Like, they have a real shot at being 4th, and if they continue to play like they did this weekend, they have a real shot at, like, breaking into that top 3 that was untouchable last split. Like, it was TSM, Cloud9, TL, there was no questions, and there was a gap. Like, if they play this good, they could maybe, like, nestle in there and be like, hey, we're number 4. Like, we're part of this group. Like, it's a top 4 now, not a top 3. So, I think that's something to watch, especially just considering what they came from. Back-to-back last place. Like, this organization's doing something right, and I'm excited to see more of it.
I'm glad I got on the hype train before there was a hype train, so I don't feel so, like, bandwagon-y. I started this bandwagon, bitches.
Yeah, there you go. You're driving it. Alright, well, let's move off Golden Guardians and talk about another surprise 2-0 team. Team Optic. So, Team Optic, I mean, played well. They beat Clutch and who was their other win? 100 Thieves. So, obviously, their strength of schedule, not great. So, we can't talk them up the same as we do a win over Echo Fox and FlyQuest. However, Optic had a lot of up and downs last split. They came in this split, the same roster, Dokla, Meteos, Crown, Arrow, and Big, and they looked pretty cohesive overall. So thoughts on Optic, the good, the bad, do you have faith in this, or is it just the opponents they were against?
I'm going to be cautiously optimistic for the time being. They beat the number 9 and 10 teams in my book. Like, they're the worst teams in the league. Like, any bubble wrapped midget can slap them around. Like, I think that Optic just got lucky with their schedule. I might change my mind if they do better next week. Who do they play next
I
week?
haven't written those in yet. I was
probably
putting this all together last night, so.
So next week they play CLG and FlyQuest.
So still, I mean, I think those are probably 2 of the next lowest. Because Echo Fox would be the one other one I would mix in there.
Yeah, I mean, FlyQuest is like a number 5 team in my book.
Yeah,
like,
I think they're 4 or 5 with Golden Guardians.
Yeah, so depending on how they do against FlyQuest, I might tweak kind of my opinion of them. But right now, like, Optic's still like my number 7 team. I don't remember where I placed them for.
Yeah, we'll check that further into the season, I'm sure.
Down, like, on the page.
Yeah,
like week 4, we'll revisit those, or week 5 maybe.
And just see, like it'll be a little bit before I change I change my judgment on them. Like right now, they're better than the worst teams in the league.
Yeah. I mean, so for me, my biggest takeaway was one, Crown looked very good. His TF game where he made a great choice to split push, and Optic still very good at the split push. 100 Thieves, that win I actually had a little more to do with 100 Thieves choking hard on their own hand.
Yeah, because they were doing okay.
They had just taken the Baron and then took a fight they didn't need to take and lost heavily from like a great crown TP. And
I just have to clap every single time that 100 Thieves trips over their own feet.
We will talk about
like,
100 Thieves,
okay,
so we'll get there. But Crown looked good. There's more of the big surprise for me because like Crown looked good, which he struggled a bit last split. He looked good so far, so good on him. Arrow looked fine. Like when he was in an opportunity to carry in team fights, he did so. Big did all right. I'm not sold on Big still.
Say anything nice about
Dokla, however, actually
so
kind
better.
of impressed me.
Yeah.
Like I'm not putting him top half the league or anything, but previous to these games, I had him as the worst top laner in NA, and he actually looked okay. Like he's showing some ability, which is nice to see. So if Dokla keeps doing that, keeps improving, like he played Poppy one game, which was fine, and
I don't remember the other one.
Jace, I think, was his day 2 game, and that wasn't as good, but it was all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think just in general, like Dokla looking all right. It's growth, and I didn't expect growth from him now that he's been around for like a year, and yeah, like he seems to be doing okay. We'll see how that goes. I'm gonna be keeping an eye on Dokla. He is still a D grade top laner by my values, but maybe he'll push himself into a C or a B tier. Yeah, I don't know.
Let's not get crazy here.
Yeah, maybe. I'm just maybe.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on Optic before we move on?
Not really. I mean,
No.
like you said, they're better than the last 2 teams, so
Yeah.
it's not saying much yet.
All right. Well, so mention the TF pick a little bit. That was fun to see.
It was.
I don't know that we're gonna see anybody else pull it out.
Yeah, I can't imagine any other mid laners are gonna take
I'm
that.
honestly a bit surprised it's taken that long to come out though, because the whole meta is around there being like a lack of vision overall. Like it is hard to get out a lot of vision.
It was so useful.
And
for
TF
vision. Yeah.
kind of fixes that issue. Plus, it's a teleport, you know, like, and if you run TP on him, he can, you know, go away and then come back, and he doesn't have to commit to his ult teleport like you do with an actual teleport now, which, while Turtle showed that off very effectively. Pour one out for your homie on that one.
Yeah.
Everybody saw that, where he
it
thought
was
he had
great.
heal,
Yeah.
and he's just TPing to a minion a moment away. Fun fact, because of Pro View now, I went back and looked at it, and I wanted to see if like anybody on his team reacted. The moment he died, he question mark pinged himself. He question mark, like, because I watched it, and I saw the question mark ping, I'm like, oh, who did it? So, like, I pulled up, like, 4 people, and he pinged himself. The moment he died, I just see, like, the cursor go past his body real quick, and so he question mark pinged himself.
That's fucking funny.
He's just like, fuck me.
Yeah.
Oh,
Poor
Fly
Turtle.
did not look good this week,
Yeah.
unfortunately. But
Well, so we had the TF. The one other new pick we saw, and a very, very new pick, we did see one game of Yumi. We saw Biofrost pilot that on CLG,
Bifrost did amazing.
and they dominated that game.
They really did.
I still have no idea how Yumi works. I honestly haven't played League in probably 2 weeks, maybe. Like I've played a couple matches with her. I kind of get the concept, but like when she does shit, I'm like, are you doing damage? Are you healing me? I don't know what's happening. So it was interesting watching the pros play it, because they made it look a lot better than the people that I've played it with made it look. So definitely an interesting pick. Do you guys have thoughts? You guys think we're going to see more of her?
So Yumi was banned almost every game.
Oh, is that what it was?
9 out of 10 games.
Was
You
she
know
banned
me.
the other 9
I'm
completely?
assuming, because no one played her.
Yeah, I mean, you
Otherwise,
could
it would've
double
been
check.
taken in a heartbeat.
I know she was banned, I think, the other
Yumi,
4 of
Yumi.
day 1.
Ah, okay.
Yumi,
Yeah.
yeah. 9 out of 10 games.
So, yeah, no, she's a power pick. What you're hearing from the pros is if she gets ahead, she dominates. If you get behind, your team's fucked, because she becomes completely irrelevant.
Yeah.
So it is a gambit, but because the game is based around early play right now, if you have a draft you feel like you can pressure with that early, go for it.
Yeah.
My one thought, like, if it wasn't banned by everyone, my question would be, did it succeed because it was against 100 Thieves and Afro? Because that's who it was played against.
Really quite possible.
It was played against Bang and
again,
Afro Moo.
More, no, not even. Yeah, they're trash, but amazing. Like, you have to have a great jungler to win a game, and they had a dude who had just gotten out of fucking customs. like we were talking about earlier.
Right.
Like, and I feel, so we have no real clear basis on whether Yumi is good or not, or if she's absolutely trash.
I mean, I think she's definitely good. The question is how good. Is she first ban good, or is it just the other teams aren't, like, everybody's not used to her yet, so they're just going to ban it and not deal with it?
That too. It's definitely part of that.
Because I think if she was, like, for sure good and other teams were used to it, one of the first teams to not ban it would be Cloud9, because we saw them all last split, like, pull that gambit against teams. They're like, do you know how to play this? And they would just leave shit open and be like, grab it if you know how to play it, and force the other team to ban it, because they're like, we play all that weird shit, come at us.
I hope we see more of her, I really do. But I do think she's probably going to be banned a good portion of the times.
Yeah.
I think she's going to be banned until people kind of figure out some, like, how to defend against it a little bit better.
Yeah.
Like, because, I mean, it's still new. Like, it takes longer than a week or two for, like, the pros to figure everything out and figure out all the interactions and, like, what's good, what's bad about her. So,
go ahead.
I think she's going to be banned until people just figure out how to shut her down.
I think one of the ways to combat her may very well be the same thing we've seen that successfully combats Sonateric, which was played twice, I believe, this week. I know Cloud9 played it day 2. I believe it was day 2, Cloud9 played it. And yeah, they played Sonateric day 2, and I think somebody else played it on day 1, but I could be mistaken there.
No, it was day 2, game 4 TSM.
Oh, okay. So TSM played it day 2 as well.
7, yeah.
So it was played twice, and both times it won. But like the way we saw it shut down at MSI was go bot and pressure the shove. And actually, CLG did that against TSM. They went bot and they did like do a good job against the Sonateric. They just lost later on in the game because CLG had a pretty good early game, I think. Yeah. I think that might be the same thing to do against Yumi because she offers quite a bit, but not as much as a normal support who's a separate person. Because if she's on you when like 4 people show up, guess what? There's only 1 target for them to worry about. And if she jumps off, there's only 2 targets for like 0.75 seconds because she's dead instant. She has what, like 500 starting health or some shit.
Yeah.
Like she becomes the squishiest character in the game, like as it rolls on through her growth stat. So yeah, like I think going bot early with like a 3-4 man gank, whether it's TPing top down or bringing the mid in, whatever. Like I think that's probably going to be the way to attack her. But we'll see. We'll see how teams adjust and play around it. I'm excited to see more because it was interesting to watch her be played, especially when she did get ahead. And it was just her abusing the shit out of Afromu and Bang. Like, that was just... It was neat to watch it, just be like, oh wow. Like, every time they start walking away, this fucking thing loops around the minions and fucking hits them for, 120 damage. And it's just gross.
Yeah.
And it was played with a Xayah, too, which means, like, you're watching freaking Feather... No, it wasn't. It was played with a Sivir, my bad. Xayah was on the other team.
Yeah, it was played with a Sivir, which just increased the poke. Yeah. Like, it was really hard to deal with. You get hit by that for the slow, which meant a Q could come out. Get both ends of it. Like, it was a lot of poke. I kind of want to play that lane and just be, like, an asshole to low elo people.
Yeah.
Don't do it. It's a trap.
It's a trap, yeah. Oh, man. Let's see here. So let's move on from that, though. Let's talk about the team that's been abused by Yumi, as well as everyone else they faced in all but one of their last 14 games. 100 Thieves.
Poor management of 100 Thieves.
No, not poor management.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Poor other players.
Poor the players.
Poor Bang. Poor Someday.
Poor everyone that's not Afromu on that team. Afromu needs to just be done. Like, he needs to be benched. He needs to be traded to Cloud9, ride the bench for a split, and then
gain his powers
and then come back rejuvenated.
Pull a Svenskeren.
Yeah, something.
Everybody thinks he's like used up and like he comes back greater than before.
Good for him.
No, Afromu is the weakest link on this team.
How do you guys feel about Saligo?
I think he's
because we saw small amounts of him last split.
Yeah.
We've seen 2 more games. What are our thoughts on Saligo right now?
I don't think he's bad. Like, he's not exceptional. He's not an exceptional player, but he's not as bad as some of the other players on his team. It's really painful to watch. Like, Someday was really good not that long ago. Bang's pretty solid.
To be fair, Someday was good at the same time Afromu was. Okay. I think Someday's still good. It's just the whole team's so bad that he can't do anything most of the time.
And, like, I mean, I know we had Amazing have issues with his visa, apparently.
Yeah, for those of you who weren't here, Amazing, new jungler for 100 Thieves. He flew in and got stuck in customs so long that he actually came, once they cleared up things at customs, he came straight from the airport to the studio to play their game on Saturday. So,
That's rough.
yeah. I mean, like, obviously you would have been there for not very long had he not been caught in customs. I'm assuming he wasn't there for, like, 3 days.
Yeah.
But, like, that's not ideal.
No, that's a really terrible way to start your split. That's really poor planning on their part. And I almost want to say, what did the management do to that? Said, like, oh yeah, just show up the day of and we'll just go in and steamroll. Because no one thinks that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if he just traveled from overseas, that's minimum 12-hour trip depending on where he's flying from, potentially
Europe,
more.
but yeah.
Well, I mean, depending on what part of Europe. And
Germany, I would assume, is where he flew out of. Could be wrong.
if there were like layovers and shit like that, like
Yeah.
there's a lot, like there's 12 plus hours worth of travel
Yeah.
time just there.
That's so
You're
cool.
not in the right mental regardless.
Oh, of course not.
Yeah.
So
It'd be more than 12 because he's not flying to like New York. He's going to LA.
that's why I said at least 12.
Yeah.
Like, potentially longer.
Yeah, because I'm sure he went to like Atlanta
I feel
or
bad
NYC
for him.
and then like the rest of fuck.
And 100 Thieves had a better shot if they played
Yeah,
on.
and
under
you know
those
what?
conditions.
The only reason I can see they wanted to play him like right away is because it's CLG, and they're like, well, we can get this win. But I agree with you. Play Onda if you think you can get the win, because I think
Yeah.
that's more likely.
Oh, definitely. And this is not like
Like management from
we had low
100
hopes for
Thieves.
CLG, but they did show up. So
When's the last time 100 Thieves management made a decision that we all didn't question?
never.
Huh.
Ever?
Like
been a minute.
getting Amazing is even kind of questionable because he hasn't played for at least one split. Like, not that he's bad, but like
fuck.
Onda's not the problem. So I mean, there's so much money tied up in Afro Moon. That's obviously
really is.
yeah.
That
Like
sucks.
I'm sure
That
he has a
sucks for the
contract where
team.
he can't even ride the bench, or like they owe him money.
Oh
or
my
something.
god, that's a douche move on his part too.
Yeah,
though.
they signed it. That's their.
That's true.
If
That's
that's
true.
what his contract is, whatever his contract is, which is sticking 100 Thieves hard, it's their fucking fault for signing it. Like because they wrote it up. Even like I'm sure he's
Yeah.
like, this is what I want. They're like, yeah, whatever you want. And of course they
Oh, yeah.
couldn't have anticipated him falling off this hard, but you can't like full buy-in like that. That's just stupid.
That's why most contracts are like a year,
Yeah.
maybe 2.
Well,
like, I'm sure
they're now like 2-3 year contracts
Okay.
generally now.
I'm sure Afro's was like 3, maybe 4.
Probably yeah.
And like because he was really good 3, maybe 4 years ago. He's just not there anymore.
You see him when he was packing up on the day 2?
Did he cry?
No.
I
don't
didn't-
think
I
Mooney's
didn't
gonna
see
cry.
Did he wipe his tears on $100 bills?
No, he looked apathetic.
Oh yeah, I think he's
Straight
dead
apathetic.
inside right now.
Has to be.
If I was him, I would be.
And if I were his teammates, I wouldn't
I'd be so frustrated.
care as hard probably. Yeah.
I'm hoping
you're frustrated, you're not
Amazing,
playing your
being
best.
such a veteran player, like Ingrid Afromu's a veteran, and Bang's a veteran, and Sunday, like all of them are veteran. Besides
And Sunday
Saligo,
is actually really good.
yeah. I hope one more veteran, like maybe they can all just like gang up and yell at him or do something to get shit going again, because the way it isn't working. But like I said before, what's the last good decision 100 Thieves made as a management thing? Because like I'm okay with bringing Amazing
They
in,
put out cool
but
merch sometimes.
yeah, but like playing Amazing right away, bad decision. Bring Bang in, good decision, fine. Finally subbing in Saligo, okay decision. Having brought in Huhi to replace Ryu, bad decision because both are bad. Like, get somebody better. Getting rid of Meteos, bad decision. Benching Cody's son at the end of the split, like during playoffs,
Oh.
for who did they even fucking play? What was his name?
Doesn't matter. He's
Exactly.
garbage.
Exactly. Rikara.
Oh, yeah.
Like, bad decision. Like, so much of what they've done have just been piling these bad decisions on top of each other and hoping that, like, something will work out. So even when they make a good or an okay decision, like bring in Bang, bring in Amazing, it's on top of all this garbage that you have to deal with. Like, they have to clean up the garbage first. And right now, he's sitting in bot lane playing a kind of okay Rakan.
Like, instead of like doing what you should do is like
Yeah.
like if you're gonna have like a bunch of bad decisions, like you take like wet spaghetti and throw it against the wall, and sometimes
See
something
what
sticks.
sticks.
Like they're just like crumpling up pieces of paper like and throwing it at the wall. Be like, oh, nothing's sticking. I wonder why. It's like, no, this team. I am so happy that they're just continuing to fail. Like until management like turns their shit around. I feel bad for the players, except for Afromu.
Yeah.
I feel bad for all of the other players on
Right.
that team, but Afro's fucking them, their management's fucking them, and I'm just watching, like, I'm having a lot of fun watching this team just flounder.
Like, I want to just tweet a book of a dictionary at them.
God.
It's the sunk cost fallacy. Like, for those of you who don't know the sunk cost fallacy, it's like, oh, I have this busted ass old car, but I've put so much money into fixing it that if I got rid of it, I'd be wasting that money. So when it breaks, I'm going to fix it some more. It's like, no, get rid of the fucking car and buy a new one because you're going to continue fixing it. Like, the money you already put in it is gone. Don't worry about it. It's the same thing like if you're gambling. You're like, oh man, I lost $500 at this table. I've got to keep going so I can like get it back. You're down $500. Stop now. Like, you're not going to magically have your $500 back if you play another 3 hands and lose again. Like, it's sunk cost. It's gone. Pretend it doesn't exist anymore. You know, like, you don't have to think I'm already in this, keep going. And I feel like that's where 100 Thieves management is. Because they're like, whatever the contract is, they're like, if we get rid of Afromoo, it'll cost us this much more, and we've already paid him this much. Fine. Would you rather continue losing? Because if they continue to be crap, they put themselves in the situation that Golden Guardians is actually still dealing with. If you are bottom 2, 9th and 10th, 5 splits out of 8, you can be kicked out of the fucking league.
I just think that they're trying to make too many random changes and nothing's working out. And so when things continue to not work out, they make more changes instead of like trying to fix the current problems that they've got. Like, they've got talent on their team. If they could, like, mesh it together and mold it into some sort of, like, normal-looking stick person. But instead, they're, like Voltron that can't combine or something.
Yeah, well, and so, like, we're all on board, like, the Afro seems to be the problem. And if I'm not mistaken, you can check this. I believe their backup support is Gate.
What? No.
Or is that Optic has Gate?
Their backup
Optic has
support is
Gate.
Stunt.
Okay. Stunt, who's also fine.
Yeah.
Like,
I've never seen
like
him.
Stunt's not amazing. He's not, you know, some world-class support, but he's better than what Afro's doing right now, in my opinion. Like,
I don't play support, and I'm probably better than Afro is right now.
And I honestly, I think the big thing is if you put someone who's passable with Bang, a former world champion, and they'll just listen to him because Bang's so much better, you're probably going to end up with a better bot lane. Because I bet right now, that chemistry down bot is garbage. Because Afro is going to do what he thinks is best, and Bang's going to do what he thinks is best, and it's not going to work. Even if Bang's like trying to follow Afro, Afro's not making the plays like he used to. So that's part of the problem. Like, I put in Stunt. Give him a chance. It'll probably cost them all of Afromoo's contract. It's probably they can't bench him or they lose him or some shit. Like,
good, do it.
I know, right?
Like,
There's gonna be 8 more weeks of this.
And of course, from a marketing
about 100
perspective,
Thieves.
there's all of Afromoo's fans, so you have to keep them happy.
He's
But
got fans?
even Jeff is jumping off the 100 Thieves bandwagon, and he's a big old Afromoo fan.
I wiped my hands clean of them a long time ago. Like,
And you've never been happier.
oh yeah, like I think I was digging them until they started to do bad, and then like Zane was like, "Nope, we got this," and then I was like, "Here you go, you take this dumpster fire."
Yeah, he was still running the Clutch bandwagon at the time too, so we had 2 wagons.
Oh yeah, I was like, I'm gonna go over
Wasn't
here
go,
and like be an
fuck
Echo Fox fanboy.
Yeah, you jumped on an existing bandwagon that
At least
time.
one day out of the week you'll be happy.
Yeah, exactly.
Sunday. I do like the meme popped up on Reddit when Echo Fox beat TL on day 2, which we will talk about. Actually, let's go into it now. But the meme right away popped up like, you know, the rest of Echo or Rush. What day is it? The rest of Echo Fox. Sunday. Say no more, fam.
And he did much better that day because he made far less mistakes and he didn't overcommit onto a Skarner on his Spire.
Yeah, I honestly like.
That's why he won.
His Skarner didn't start off great right away.
Yeah.
And then it just turned around and like he was. It was so funny because there's Skarner tax, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so the whole idea is like that you're forcing the other team to invest 1,300 gold to get a QSS. You know, each player. And normally it's like, well, when you're ahead, it's great because now your enemy team, like, they're behind and they also have to, they either have to buy this item or buy things to be effective in combat, so you're fucked either way. And if you're ahead, which TL was, then it's like, oh, that's fine, we can throw the money down, which they did. 4 of them bought a QSS, and like for a while he was like when 2 of them had it, he'd get into these ganks and he'd just make that person burn QSS, and it wasn't great, but like they still picked up a kill here and there off of it. Come that last team fight, he got the one person, I believe it was Impact, who did not have a QSS. He got the one target, and it's just like.
And he taunted them too, like going up. Nope, not yet.
Yeah.
Nope, not yet.
He was fishing.
Yeah.
He was
Is that what
fishing.
it's called? Fishing.
Fishing
That's
for
what
that
he was
single
doing.
target,
Great
and
at
he
it.
got it. And like that's the thing, like everybody else on the team who got their QSS in that fight, it was a wasted 1,300 gold. Other than the fact that it keeps, the Skarner from coming for you, which usually is worthwhile, unless he finds that one fucking person.
Oh, they split up Team Liquid pretty effectively in like the last 2 team fights that they did too, which secured them the win. Basically.
I mean, that whole game, it was funny because it felt so the opposite of TL to me, because we saw last split. TL would like, it'd be a close game, maybe they're down a little bit, and then like one fight and they get ahead, and then another fight and then it was over.
Done.
And that's what
Fox did.
2 fights. And they were really like back to back.
They were coordinated too, because they aced them, and then they were like, mid.
Yeah.
Right now. We can win this. We can end it.
Your old team, Echo Fox, how do you feel about that? Like, they went 1-1 this week. Who did they lose to?
Golden Guardians.
Okay, they lost Golden Guardians, right?
That was what I was talking about, Skarner. Rush was Rek'Sai, and he was like fighting Skarner on his fire.
That did not go well.
Rush.
Yeah. And then he played the Skarner himself on day 2.
Which is, again, they took champs from Team Liquid in that game, which was very surprising, and I did not think was going to work.
Yeah. But what do you think of Echo Fox here? Because you jumped off that bandwagon real hard.
Well, I mean, if you look at their roster, I don't recognize anyone from when I was a fan, so...
Yeah.
Like...
You were still following them when they played Lost for a little while.
For maybe a second. But... I mean, they looked okay. They looked a lot better in that game against TL than they did on day 1.
Yeah.
And... I mean, they made TL look really silly, which I always appreciate. Because I mean, it took a little while for TL to lose a game. It was week 4. Okay, so it wasn't that long. But like they've lost a game week 1. Like their defenses
day 2 instead of day 8.
Their defenses are already like a little bit cracked. So I think people watched how they played during MSI, and they figured out a way to exploit it, or watched how they exploited it, like other teams. And
like how G2 did.
Yeah. Yes. So like if we can emulate that at least somewhat, like I think that Echo Fox did pretty well.
Yeah. I honestly, the caster desk already focused on it a lot, but Solo played so well, especially on day 2. His gangplank was fantastic, especially playing into Impact.
It was
who knows
a
that
1v9
matchup
for a while.
Oh, his gangplank was disgusting in that last fight. Oh my god. Like, they were trying to dive him, and he kept backing out. He flashed away from the Rakan engage. He was just like, whatever. And then, like, he walked for orange and, like, crit somebody for half their fucking health and just kept walking forward. It was so gross.
I also think, like, DL and Core JJ messed up that last team fight a little bit.
Yeah. Like, it wasn't their best game, obviously. No. Like, TL to hard lose 2 fights in a row, they obviously misplayed the team fights. Like, you can't be ahead and being that group of 5 players and lose 2 team fights in a row without screwing up.
Yeah.
Like, the other team played very, very well, but you also made mistakes.
They were just waiting for the Skarners to go in on, like, double lift or Rakan, and he never did. And then double lift blew his ult, you know, Rakan couldn't save the one person that needed to be saved, and it was just over.
Yeah,
they could realize.
Yeah, it was really good. I think good on Echo Fox. I agree with Alan, actually. They could be a dark horse for this split.
Ooh.
I think that team, they squeaked into playoffs last split, and I think they'll make playoffs again. Like, I think it's very likely, because, I mean, if we look at, there's 4 teams that don't make it.
Yeah.
It's 100 Thieves.
Well, yeah. Goodbye.
Probably Clutch.
Yes,
I mean, we haven't talked much about Clutch. Piglet's not playing right now. Cody Sun's back in. One of those players that 100 Thieves shuffled off, and he looked all right.
He looked better.
Like, DeMonte was in the mid. He looked all right. The problem is still you have Huni and Lear in the top, so who knows what's going to happen there, you know, that top half.
Huni needs to be done.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Huni had a couple, I think he had like 1 or 2 good plays.
Yeah,
but
and that was it.
Yeah, it's just like, you can't be Huni and do one good thing an entire game and still be like Huni.
I feel like if you just sent Huni and Lyra to 100 Thieves, and took
Nah.
Anda or Amazing and Someday,
That would be really
and put
good.
them onto Clutch, you'd have a really good team
Someday.
and a really, really bad team.
Yeah.
We currently have 2 really bad teams.
Like maybe if you put Huni and Lyra and you bring back Huhi and you put Piglet instead of Bang and Afromove, like maybe just all the garbage would coalesce into like a Megatron and they would like win 4 games.
Just for
Which is 4 more games than that team should
Are
win.
you talking about like this split and the next split combined?
Yeah, right. I mean, it's the Megatron of garbage, so it's better than they should be.
I mean, if they do what they did this weekend every weekend and go 1-on-1, they'll end up even and at the
I
same,
don't
at the bottom of the
expect
5-6.
Clutch to end up
Good.
1-1.
You
No,
see-
I'm talking about Fox.
See how
Sorry.
Oh,
edgy
yeah, Fox.
Clutch is?
They'll be
They've got
sixth.
a shadow person on their team.
Major danger. So I think Clutch, like, having Cody-san in is good for them, having DeMonte in the mid and not Piglet playing fucking it. Honestly, I did say it last year. I'm like, try Piglet out in top. He can't be worse than Huni is right now. Like, fuck, if Piglet wants to try top or jungle, give it a shot, and maybe that works. Because right now, I don't trust either of those two, and if you have both of them, not the team in whole, to win games.
Like, I feel so bad for DeMonte. DeMonte could be doing so much better if he were on any other team.
Oh yeah, when he was on Echo Fox last year, and Huni was only kind of washed up, and the other positions were good still, DeMonte looked great.
Yeah.
Like, I thought he was the next NA mid upcoming. Like, and
I don't know.
now it's hard to say because that team's just a shamble.
Yeah,
That's
like, everyone that is going to Clutch or is currently on Clutch or 100 Thieves, they've basically ruined their careers because they're gonna have so many, like, they're gonna have performed so poorly, not necessarily because of, like, what their skill level is, but everyone else is just bringing them so far down that they're either going to be passed over or they're going to get some really shit contracts going forward.
Yeah, it is possible though that they hold on because, like, think right now nobody considers Arrow to be like a washed up garbage player, whereas 2 splits ago or 1 split ago even you might have said that. But like Optic's starting to rise back up, they have made good moves, like bringing in Meteos and continuing to play him. That, like, I think
He
there we go,
definitely
Clutch.
showed up for me this weekend.
Get Dardock. Get
That would
Dardock.
be an upgrade.
Yeah, I don't know that Optic's
I
willing
like
to give
Lyra,
him up
but-
still, but
I mean,
they've
Dardock
committed.
played this weekend, so...
No,
like,
that's Dokla. You're thinking of.
Yeah, Dardock the jungler, your old friend from
Yeah.
Echo Fox. He did not play.
are you sure?
Yep, Meteos played both games. He is their fixed starter right now.
Oh.
Who you're thinking of is Grig on TSM.
Oh.
We haven't
No,
seen
I know
Grig
he
in a whole
came
split.
back. I thought I heard... Okay, never
No.
mind.
Yeah, it was Meteos. He played Sejuani and...
Maybe they talked
something
about
else.
Dardock.
They might have talked about him, yeah. But yeah, so I think Dardock... I mean, like, there's players out there to be had. I guess we missed one when we were talking about the interesting picks. Froggen did play his Anivia, which was good.
Day 2.
For anyone who had never seen Froggen and understood what his Anivia was about,
He's a cunt.
like, he's so good
He's
at it.
so-
He's been playing that champion since the game came out.
Yeah.
So when
Or
you...
she came out.
Yeah, well, I think she was, like, an original character. I'm
Was
not
she
sure.
an Olivia? I don't...
She was early on.
Maybe early.
He's been
but
playing her
I don't
at
think
least
original.
8 years at this point.
He
if
knows
not 10.
exactly where to put them ults just to make people have to walk to frickin'
Oh yeah,
9
his
and
walls
come
are
back.
perfect.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
the flash wall.
Yeah.
I think he did that once.
Yeah, no, like, if you
Ridiculous.
bought the Pro View thing and you're interested in seeing, like, somebody who just understands that character better than they understand
you
the
have to
game
buy
itself.
Yeah.
I saw it showed up. I didn't realize it was...
Yeah, like, if you want to, like, not just, like, the highlights where they're showing it off and kind of advertising it, it's $15 if you just want your local region.
like a split?
Yes, for the split.
Okay, that's not so
Just
that-
for the-
that includes
I wouldn't know about
playoffs.
that.
So it's
be
15
for a
for
year.
the 9 weeks in playoffs and Gauntlet.
$15
And
I fucking flush $15 down the toilet like every week. So
yeah, you're bad with your money though. But so
I don't know,
it's
it seems
15,
like it's
20 if you
better
want
than
both LCS and LEC, which are the only 2 regions they're doing it in right now. And then Worlds will be separate, which is the one thing for me.
if
Like,
we
I think it should be
can
15
have one
for
more
1 year.
slight deviation here. The
Yeah.
VODs now have all of the awesome stats on them.
yes.
Oh.
Oh, and fun fact with that $15, actually, if you're somebody who would want to, MSI, they have those retroactively, the Pro Views.
So
for
you can watch
those.
Faker.
Yeah, you could watch
Ah.
Faker straight up.
And
But yeah.
apparently it gives you headaches because he fucking
He
moves his
FPs
camera,
constantly.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like all over to the other players.
But yeah, like it's a cool thing. I used it actually when CLG was playing as Yumi. We pulled that up because you didn't know much of anything about Yumi. So it's like, well, let's pull up Biofrost's cam so we can have the main thing like with the commentary and then also Biofrost thing so you can just watch directly how Yumi works.
It's
like
an amazing feature. I think it's great.
Yeah.
But I think it's a little bit too much for just one split.
Yeah, no, like for me, I'm definitely going to use it like if Aphromu's standing in a bush, gets hit by 4 Ezreal things again, and then flashes out at 25% health before he dies, and then still dies, I'm going to go back and see if he was even looking at his screen, you know? Like, that's how I was able to see Wild Turtle.
This is how he plays.
Yeah, I was able to see Wild Turtle pinged himself because I had the Provia thing.
Oh, man.
So, when I come back to having like a netbook here, I'll probably throw some highlight clips, and we'll get back to that, what we used to have here on the stream. But yeah, I don't know, any other thoughts from this week? I mean, we only talked a little bit about TL. We didn't really talk about TSM, who also went 1-1, but they dropped their game to TL. Cloud9 went 2-0.
Yeah, that's normal.
Cloud9's channeling his inner smoothie
What?
with the hair.
Oh,
yeah.
Sneaky's channel.
Sorry, that's what
smoothie. Yeah.
Who did I say?
You just said Cloud9 is the team.
Oh,
Yeah.
Cloud9.
I'm like, they used to have
Cloud9
smoothie.
is
Sorry.
sneaky,
My
yeah.
brain's fried. It's only Monday.
Greg, I think, did amazing.
There we go. There's a good thought.
So-
Licorice is a beast.
Yeah. That's...
You know what though?
We did mention that prior to the stream starting.
Yeah, it's prior to stream. Hats off to Viper in the 1v1. Got 2 solo kills onto Licorice.
Yeah.
I mean, like, he was rookie of the split, and I thought it was partly just because it was a small field. It was basically him or Vulcan. But if he continues, like, looking like he did against Licorice, dude is going to be a good top laner. Like, I mean, he's already good, but he's going to be very good.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Licorice, obviously, like, he got behind on Aatrox and said, fine, I'm going to out-jungle my jungler, and, like, was finding ganks in the enemy jungle and getting kills. And then mid-game came in a couple teamfights, and he just obliterated everyone. And then he played Camille on day 2.
I liked that.
And
one.
who is
That
it he
was
played
nice.
it into?
They had a Sonataric, I think, right?
Yeah, Cloud9 had the
first one.
Sonataric.
Sorry, it was a CG. So
They
it wasn't
played
exactly
it in... Oh, he played it into Pyke.
Yeah.
Hoonie picked Pyke. Because he's like, I can G2 like Wonder. It's like, no, Wonder's way better than you probably ever were, let alone are now.
Yeah.
And Licorice pulls out Camille as this, like, counter. Like, I have a feeling, like, obviously, like, watching the G2 play Pyke at MSI, he's like, all right, I need to workshop a counter for this and workshop it myself. And so he's like, he decided on Camille's the counter. He fucked on Hoonie.
You can't get out of the thing, right? The ult?
Yeah, you can't leave the ult.
Yeah,
It makes it super easy to dodge the stun that he has where he, like, dashes and then it follows him.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, everything he does just, like, screwed with that Pyke.
Hoonie did some dumb stuff too. Like I remember, him walking into.
I've completely written Hoonie off. Like he needs a team around him to carry his ass, and he is not on a team that can do that.
And he wants to try and carry because he walks into like 3 people. He literally walks into the jungle. He has one teammate here. There's like 3 fucking Cloud9s and some of his other teams over here. So he goes this way. Camille's just like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Right there. Like.
Yeah, no, he was getting caught a lot. Somebody else played Pyke this weekend, I believe, top. Did they not?
I don't think I won, but...
No, I believe it was a loss both times. Viper played it?
GG's, yeah. Fly versus
Okay.
GG's.
Yeah, and honestly, like, Viper looked good day 1. His Pyke did not look so hot. I'm curious to see if Licorice or maybe Broken Blade plays the Pyke. Like, if they think they figured out. I want to see one of those two play it because I have far more confidence in those two players pulling out. Viper, he's still young, so I don't think all the counters work out in his favor kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but Licorice, I'd like to see Licorice play it and probably Broken Blade too. So, yeah.
We were talking about TSM originally, right?
We were just kind of talking about whatever. Somebody in the chat said Licorice.
Gotcha. Because I know we didn't mention the fact that Greg played.
Greg did play.
And
he looked
did
fine.
Great.
He
had his team.
He was like right on Bjergsen's ass the whole time. He's like, I will. Like somebody was saying in the Reddit thread too. They're like,
I saw
Bjergsen,
that, yeah.
I will be your ward. Thanks, bro. And I will be there for ganks. Awesome. And I will be next to you the whole time. Okay, also I'm going to grow a beard like yours. I am you.
Yeah.
But, like, it worked well.
It worked well. 'Cause we had so many different speed ups. He had freaking Jace's, Zillion, Sona's, and, you know, then the 2 heals on top of that. Plus, then, you know, as he's going in, the Taric ultimate. Dome, like, absolutely ridiculous comp to be up against.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that. I think if they had been up against TL with that comp, they might have actually won.
Maybe.
Because that's
But
really
to
hard
be fair,
comp
they
to go
lost
against.
that early game against CLG, and that's another, like, mid to late game comp.
Yeah.
And the comp TL took was, like, a faster comp. Now, granted, the one they took against CLG was a faster comp than the one they took against TL, so it would have helped, but I think they need to play faster yet, and I just don't know if Sven is up to the task of playing an early game.
Which is so funny because it's Sven. Like, you don't.
But
you don't
he's
wanna say
never
that.
played
Yeah.
early game. He's like as
a little bit
notorious as
slow.
Double Lift for being like super late game scaling. The thing is though, with Liquid, you have Jensen who can play early, and like Impact will make some ridiculous plays up top.
Yeah.
And now that Xmithy's getting in on it, that team's able to play somewhat quicker. They're still not a fast team. They're not Cloud9, but like TSM, like you have Broken Blade. He can play quick. Acadian and Grig can, but we haven't seen much of him in a while. But Acadian, for sure. Bjergsen has gone slower in more recent seasons than he used to. And then if you also add that in with Sven down behind, I just don't know that the team's quick enough.
Maybe not.
Like, they need to get Sven playing something that spikes on 1 or 2 items and, like,
much
go
quicker,
in.
like a Kaisa or something.
Yeah, and
I
he's
don't see him on
we've
Kaisa.
seen him play Kaisa.
Like a little bit, but he's
Yeah,
usually
exactly.
on like Ezreal.
He's usually
or,
on Ezreal, yep.
Yeah, something that has.
Or like maybe put him on a Sivir or something where he has a ton of harass in lane. I don't know. I mean, obviously it's a matter of what his wheelhouse is, but I think right now he needs to be a little quicker if that's going to work out for TSM to play faster. I think the one lane that's holding them back on being faster is Ven, because I think Bjergsen can adjust.
Yeah.
I mean, we see
I
him
wouldn't
play
be
things
surprised
like
if
the
Bjergsen-
Zillion and
yeah.
stuff where he gets annoying real quick.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And if he does play, if Sven plays more Sona, land the ults more consistently. And don't miss 2, but land a 4-man and count it as as even.
Right, yeah.
Get at least one person in your ult sometimes.
So, any last thoughts on week 1?
I'm excited. I think it's going to be a lot of fuck 100 Thieves. And where do they go from
Been
here?
a lot of fuck 100 Thieves for a
Let's
minute.
check the schedule. When is 100 Thieves getting their first win?
Not next
Oh, yeah,
week.
we should talk
Or
about
at least
the
not
next
Yeah.
day 1 next week. They're playing Golden Guardians.
Ha.
I was like, oh yeah, hook, line, sinker. Golden Guardians got a sweet 4-0 coming.
Yeah, can you just pull up their schedule on their
Yeah,
own?
100 Thieves plays
Cool.
Golden Guardians and then Echo Fox next week.
Nope. And then Cloud9, nope. FlyQuest, nope. TSM, nope. Team Liquid, nope. Optic might be a win.
Maybe they'll upset TL. Like, it's the only one that seems plausible at this point. Like, because TL is gonna like sandbag so hard, they're gonna be like, haha, we got this, guys, and then 100 Thieves will fuck on them. But
Anyone in the chat, go ahead if you have questions, topics you want us to cover, get those in, and we'll talk about them quick. But yeah, 100 Thieves, it's going to be what? I think it might be what Optic and Clutch are their last 2 of this, like half of the split.
yeah,
So they may very well be
staring.
staring down the barrel of 0-7 with their 2 games to go kind of thing.
I don't know why I'm sad for them. I really don't.
I'm not. I am so excited. I'm so
They
excited.
failed me so many
You know what
times
though?
now.
To be fair, I'm not going to count them
should
out
have
of.
never
I
started
know.
liking
I'm not going
them.
to count them out of getting some wins. Not that they have amazing. I'm not saying amazing is awesome and going to cure everything, but having
You're not going to say he's
amazing. Yeah.
Obviously.
It's like you
Hey,
never underestimate Impact's impact in the top lane. Yeah,
Oh,
we all
yeah.
know.
Explain
But
it to me.
it's sneaky, like sneaky in the bot lane.
Definitely don't understand what you're saying right now. You're coming at me with all these
It gives you a
words,
confused boner,
Y'all are
like
ridiculous.
sneaky.
but it's not
Yeah.
confused. I get the boner. I get what's happening.
You're like, I totally understand that boner.
He's in cosplay, and I'm like, I'm not
So-
a lesbian, but at the same time, he's not a girl, so
I touched
it's
that.
okay.
It's funny because
I
he's
don't
always
know.
looked like a lesbian.
He's a
Like he's always had the lesbian haircut,
Especially
and
with
then
the
he started
wig
doing
and the
cosplay as a
makeup,
woman. Like he just started doing crossplay. It's like I knew you were a lesbian the whole time. Damn it, Rosie O'Donnell. No.
Right. Alan said CLG is definitely a dark horse I was impressed with in their games. I like how they were playing aggressive, and I like the look of Ruin.
I thought Ruin looked all right in the top lane. Mm-hmm. My qualms with CLG are they continue to be the same as they were last split, where I look at that team and nobody on it is great. Like
that's a lot of teams right now.
Not that many. Like, I mean, because even when we look at 100 Thieves, I think Someday and Bang can be great.
Oh, yeah.
It's just the team they're on.
Someday.
I think Cody Sun and DeMonte can be great. It's just the team they're on. I look at CLG and I don't know how Ruin will do, but like Wiggly's too new for me to decide if he can be great. I think he's fine. Mm-hmm. I look at Stixay. Stixay used to be really good, but I think he's okay. And Biofrost used to be pretty good, but I think he's okay. Like that whole team, I'm just kind of like, they're just like lower middle of the road as a group.
Well, Power of Evil though.
Oh, that's right. So you have Power of Evil in mid. Yeah. Power of Evil is the one player I know can be great. Yeah. So, you know what? I do take it back a little bit. There's one person.
So I have a real serious question I need to ask you guys.
Yeah.
So last year, Summer Split, Huni was able to get his Echo Fox Orange Range Rover.
Yeah.
Do you think he has changed it to either clutch black or red?
No,
and he's got like a big old like Texas symbol on the side of it.
It's still that sexy burnt orange. Oh. It looked good.
It did look good.
It looked real good.
Know. Someone pull this up later. We'll show me.
Yeah, we'll pull up later.
Okay, Huni has a Jeep.
No, it's a Range Rover.
Yeah, he's a Range Rover that's burnt orange. It is pretty.
Okay, I'm gonna put a big old question mark next to this.
Yeah. Let's see.
We should
support's only as strong as the AD carry. And I feel that goes both ways. The AD carry is only as good as the support, because I think Arrow would be better if he wasn't playing with Bang. Big. Which, was it Optic that picked up? No, it was Golden Guardians who picked up a new support.
No, that's FlyQuest.
It's FlyQuest. Okay.
I really do want to see how FlyQuest does with him, because I don't think JJ is that great of a support. Then again, Wild Turtle has been making mistakes too, so if
it's Wild Turtle, he's never not made mistakes.
Yeah, he's either like, I didn't make any.
Huhi. Is that a new pickup or is that old?
Huhi? No, that's a new bench. No, Huhi, the old mid laner. He was the starter for 100 Thieves. Beginning of last split.
So GG's picked him up?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they also picked up Darshan onto their academy too.
Yeah.
Wow.
They picked up a bunch of veteran players onto their academy, which I think is smart, because they're there to train the young players and help them be better.
Darshan's a good pick in my opinion.
Yeah, I think he has things he can teach Haunser. Yeah. Absolutely. Like, Haunser's been around for a while, don't get me wrong, but Darshan's been around a long time. Yeah. So, and like, I've been saying for a while, I think Haunser's weakness is that he thinks he can play, like, dueling champions, and he can't. If Darshan can teach him how to play dueling champions, amazing. Like, that'd be great. And he moved to support. Okay, so he moved to support for Golden Guardians.
Yeah.
Which, that's weird, because they have Ole. I don't ole going anywhere.
Mm-mm. But Ole's showing up, too.
Like you said, with FlyQuest, they brought in Wadid, and I'm hoping to see good things out of him, because I think him and Turtle together could be a good combination. Yeah.
We should mention that for picks this week,
Golden Guardian's gonna go 2-0.
Chase went 9-1.
Chase went 9-1. You went 8-2.
I
went 7-3.
If Team Liquid wouldn't have shit the bed,
you would have been the first 10-0 week ever on League of Loggers had Team Liquid not lost. But that's always what happens, because I've gone 9-1 once. Zane did it twice. Once when Shelby picked.
I was like,
the girlfriend pick, and then like
there's one weekend they're at a wedding or something, so she picked for him the whole time.
I would have been like, the Fox one's cute. I like the Golden Guardians colors. Yeah. There's a horse for Team Liquid. That's why I would have just done that.
It was that, plus like when she's heard him talk about them some, so she's like, I know that team's garbage, so I'm not picking them.
Yeah. You hear 100 Thieves? No.
Yeah, exactly. This is back when they were good.
Can you pull up the schedule for next week?
Yeah.
I know you're probably looking for the Range Rover.
Yeah, do that later. Alright, so last chance for things out of chat, and we're going to do quick picks for next week. So game 1, Cloud9, Echo Fox. I'm going on Cloud9.
Yep.
Same all around?
Yeah.
TL versus 100 Thieves, please, TL.
Yeah,
I'm going to say TL, and that's going to be another 9-1 week for me.
TSM FlyQuest, while FlyQuest looking good, and they might be playing Wadid, we'll see. I'm still going to stick with TSM on that one.
Same.
Yep.
Optic versus CLG, I think this one's a little harder to pick.
I'm going to go towards CLG.
I think I'm leaning Optic right now.
That one's real hard for me. It is a half and half.
I think it is hard. It's going to end up being how do Dokla and Big play. That's what it's going to end up being.
I think I want to see CLG win it, so I'm gonna pick based on that because I think the teams are fairly even.
And Clutch Golden Guardians, I think we're all gonna sit on
my
Golden Guardians.
boys are gonna go for it.
All right, then let's bring up day 2 then real quick. We have CLG TL all around.
Yep.
100 Thieves Clutch. While they're both garbage.
Oh God!
Bubble Wrap Midget. That is our Bubble Wrap Midget wrestling match of the week. Clutch Gaming versus
I want to see them both lose,
100
but
Thieves.
I'm gonna pick Clutch.
I'm gonna pick
never
Clutch.
picking 100 Thieves ever.
I mean, that was my thing. I did last partway through last split. I said I'm not picking them until they win.
No, I'm just never picking them again
ever.
They could be
This
number
split?
1.
This split, not picking them. Yeah, I'm not.
I'm like, I will hold you with this.
I'm
so
not
Chase?
locking myself into this
like
ridiculous
3
rule.
seasons from now. You're like, I made a bad choice once, and you're still paying for it at this
Yeah.
moment.
Split, right? Okay.
Yeah, Chase no 100 Thieves this split.
Just in case we need to come
Dude,
back.
what happens if like they get rid of Afromu and they start going on a run?
I am not picking 100 Thieves with how they're currently playing their roster. If they bench Afromu, I may...
Okay, you will not pick them as long as Afromu is starting.
Correct.
Okay.
Add that addendum in there because that's important.
Wait, sorry, what?
He cannot pick Afromu to win.
Okay.
We'll just put it that way. Because if he's benched, then it doesn't count.
Oh, yeah, well, then I'd pick fucking 100 Thieves to win.
Yeah, right.
Just to do it to spite people.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
he's not allowed to pick them
Yeah,
until Afro's benched or dropped. So, alright. Like, dude, you know Sunday's gonna get, like, a Jax game and go the fuck off. But either way...
Against Clutch.
Afromu's an anchor right now.
Yeah, right? Against Clutch... Like, dude, if they don't give Someday a carry against Clutch, I don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's Hooney. You're gonna shit on Hooney. Just get huge.
I don't know. Hooney's gonna...
Give him Jax, Aurelia, Urgot. I don't care. Give him something that will win the game.
Urgot would be good. He's
gonna play Rumble, or he's gonna play Gangplank, and he's gonna do really well for 5 seconds, and then he's gonna shit the bed the rest of the game.
And actually...
But those 5 seconds of Hooney doing well is gonna win them the game. Boom. That is the outcome.
Quick thought on Someday and the Urgot, because he did play really well in that. We actually have only seen, I think, Dokla play the Urgot since they changed his W to be like, always, like you can make it always on once you like level it up enough.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I would love to see
W shotgun legs.
So you mean
no,
they
that's a passive. They made so his turret shot, his purge. Not the knees are a passive.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, no one's played it since they did that?
Like Dokla played it twice. It was towards the end of the split.
Someday.
It was like week 8 that they changed it.
Okay, all right.
It was late, and I think Dokla played it twice.
All right, next one
Hold on.
is
Yeah, why'd you go away?
Fox TSM.
Sorry.
Fox TSM. I'm gonna go TSM, but I think that one's relatively close as well.
I'm gonna say free SM.
I think this week's gonna be really interesting to see out of TSM because they have FlyQuest and Echo Fox.
Mm-hmm.
Those are 2 teams who are challenging to like be up higher, and TSM to like maintain their dominance needs to beat them.
That's Sunday. Shit.
Yeah, Cloud9 Golden Guardians. Whew, that's a game.
I gotta pick
Okay,
Cloud9.
apparently
I'm gonna
I
stick with
looked up
Cloud9.
the week wrong. I thought that Golden Guardians was playing someone else this week.
Oh,
That's
no,
not
this is
correct.
Cloud9 Golden Guardians though, I'm gonna go Cloud9, but that's gonna be a good game.
Can that be the game of the week?
I think it is.
Yeah, I like that.
I think that's absolutely the game of the week.
And this is
I mean, it's either that or TSM FlyQuest, but I think we both think Golden Guardians and Cloud9 are slightly better than FlyQuest and TSM.
yeah.
At this moment, off of 1 week of bias.
Fly versus Optic will be good because I don't think
I'm gonna
Fly
hold reservation. I'm gonna probably lean into Cloud9 against my boys,
Right, I mean,
but
like, these aren't...
I might change my opinion.
You have Saturday to decide, like all the matches from Saturday. You get to see how
Oh,
GG
yeah.
stacks up against CG, which is won't be a very
That's
good.
good.
All right, and then finally FlyQuest Optic. I'm gonna lean towards FlyQuest on this, but I'm not gonna be shocked if Optic pull it out. Like,
Here's my theory.
I think they're all right.
I'm thinking that if FlyQuest loses to TSM,
They'll play what did.
they'll play what did.
What
And
if they
that's
play
why
what
I'm
did
thinking-
against TSM?
Still TSM. I'm sorry. No, that's what. Who?
Well, what if they play what did against TSM and they lose? Will they go back to JJ?
No. I think they'll give what did another chance.
You think what did will get at least 1 game this weekend though? Is that
I'm hoping.
Unless
I'm
JJ
hoping.
manages to help them
Yeah,
beat TSM.
like if JJ is like the player of the game, then maybe not.
If he
but
just goes like,
I don't think that's gonna happen.
And then like boom.
So-
he goes Ultra Instinct Alistar and he's just like 4-man pulls. like,
oh my goodness. Oh, if he landed like a 4-man pull on Alistar, I'd be like, keep 1 more game.
yeah, 1 more game. All
It's
right.
just Optic.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what did. I'm looking forward to seeing him as well. Yeah, but I think that does it for week 1 of the summer split here, LCS.
Just wanna call out Slippy for getting getting caught in the chat filter for saying bang.
Did you clear that? Are you allowed to say bang now?
I did not.
That's weird because people said bang earlier and it came through.
But he added himself. He added it, or no, maybe Alan. Alan said bang.
Yeah.
And then Slippy okayed it since he's the
Oh,
moderator.
okay. Good on you, Slippy, to do mod things.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, thumbs up for that. He cleared it. Good. All right. Well, that's going to do it, though, for this episode of League of Vloggers. Guys, thank you for joining us. And next week, we will be on Tuesday instead of Monday, so you get an extra day to take in all those games. All right? We will see you then.
Yar.
Have a good night.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.